But by doing all the apartments, I learned how contractors do. So a lot of contractors don't know what they're talking about. If you sell a door, if I come to repair your door, once the door is warped where the seals are messed up, I've never been able to get it right. So if I come over and I repair your door, you're going to pay me a fee. A week later, when you're having a similar problem and it's leaking water or leaking air, you're going to want me to come back out. I'll have already have charged you. So then that's how contractors, a lot of them get the bad name of, look, I'm not going to call you. They're not calling me back anymore. Yeah, because they've been over there 3 to 4 times to repair the door. You don't repair a door, you replace it, you put a brand new one in. Yeah. So repairing something that opens and closes every single day is like a waste of money, but I learned little tricks like that. But I learned how to work on 100-year-old houses. I learned about reglazing windows. I ended up working with the crews and doing a lot of it myself. So I would hire a crew to do plaster. And I would say, look, here's the deal. I'm going to hire you, but you need to teach me how to do plaster. And they would be like, I'm not going to teach you because you're going to take my job. I said, well, I'm going to work for free. I'll bring in all the material. I'll do all the legwork. You just show me how to run plaster, and I'll be free for you for a month. So then if they agreed to it, then I would give them the job. Then I would come in and they teach me how to do swirl and everything. And I did the same thing with electric, plumbing, and everything, where I had a good hands-on experience to know how to do all the products myself. So if I came to you, if I looked to hire somebody, I would ask them how they were going about doing it. If they were a professional, then I learned how to tell, because I did the work, how long it would take. So if they were giving me a number and the number was too cheap, I would know that they don't know what they're doing, and I'm not going to hire them. If the number's too expensive, then I'm going to ask them how they're doing it and why it's so expensive and what I'm willing to pay, because I know what the going rates are for this type of work. It's different if you're coming from a retail company, if you're coming from a sub, or from something else. But fixing up all the houses was in order to make me a contractor. But I never wanted to be a contractor. I was an investor. But God had different plans for me.
So if you all of a sudden have a bad business experience, or you lose properties, or you're dealing with a problem with a recession, you're also having an added benefit of noticing when people are wasting a customer's money. You noticed when you had someone repair a door when they were wasting your money as an investor. And I look at what you're doing, and as I move into some of the other questions here, you're in the quality built exteriors business, and you're doing all these different kinds of work. It seems like you honed your ability to see the right way to do things, the right way to charge for them, and to really educate your customers. I think if I did my research correctly, sometimes it's better to replace something than it is to fix it. Sometimes something needs to be just torn out and something new needs to be put back in. And so it's not all about just making the money and just getting the business. Sometimes it's about saying, no, listen, that's not the right way to do it. And I think that's pretty rare. So is that right? Is that sort of like the
my system is I only allow certain things. So I have salesmen when they go into the house. I only allow them to sell certain products. I won't sell things based on, hey, we can make a sale. So we lose a lot of sales because people, they're not a good fit. When I say they're not a good fit, they might want me to do something that I know is not going to last. So I'm not going to do that, because that's going to give me a bad name. I'm telling you, you shouldn't do this. So sometimes we'll go into people's houses and they'll want to spend X amount of money, but their goals align with selling in 2 years. And then what we'll do is say, look, instead of spending $60,000, we recommend that you spend $15,000, which doesn't make any sense for us to tell you to do this and do these things, because these are the things that are going to help you sell your house. So it's more about having the knowledge on both sides. One, to understand what I learned was what the contractor, this finger, in the camera, I learned what the contractor side of it. So I'm able to solve the working man's problem. I'm able to recruit the best people, and I know what their issues are, and I know what their issues are with companies and with retaining help, because I experienced it. I experienced it with me doing the work and people holding money for me when I needed to pay my bills. So I learned what it's like to struggle and have somebody play games with your money. So the people that work for me, I don't play any games with their money. One thing anybody can say about us is we always pay. If you do good work, you get paid, but I only hire the best. So what my goal is to basically, and what I learned from it is, you can either focus on the people in the relationship and doing the right thing, or you can either make the sale. So making the sale isn't always the best thing. Being able to be a benefit and offer a product. Coming to me is like going to your doctor. So that means you're looking for a prescription. Either we have a good fit or we don't. Either you're going to believe what we say and we're going to give you a prescription that we think you should take. And if you believe that and it makes sense, then you should do business. If it doesn't make sense, you should go to another doctor and get a different prescription. The difference is we carry a good enough name and have been in business longer where you know that we will back up that prescription if it don't work and give you another one, in a sense, without charging you to have another visit.
Right.
So basically, that's the best way that I can explain it, because people think hiring a contractor is all about negotiating the lowest price. I was able to beat him down 200 or 300. The problem when you beat people down in this business is sometimes they're desperate and they happen to cut corners that you won't know about. So there's a cost of what it costs, and there's a cost of what someone's willing to do it for. And sometimes when you end up sacrificing because you have to, doing a certain quality and a certain level of work and having a certain amount of guys, then the customers don't understand, or people on that side of the table don't understand that, that's what it costs. That's a fair price, so there's things that aren't a fair price and things that are, but there's a certain cost to doing business. It's not how low you can get it. It's what the product costs, what the overhead costs, what the people cost. So there's just a different way that you go about it. But all these different experiences over the years taught me a vast array of knowledge.